Hi everybody, welcome back to Sew Like Dotty. I'm Alison, and today is all about the Sew Upcycle Challenge. It's a challenge that I've been involved with since I really took up sewing. So maybe I took up sewing when I was very little as a girl, but returned to sewing. So I guess the last maybe 4 years or 5 years I've been involved since the start of vlogging certainly. So what is Sew Upcycle about? I'm just going to give a brief summary because I'm on day 6, so you'll see everybody talking about it. So it is to upcycle a garment, raid a friend or family member's wardrobe if there's a garment they might want upcycling or you might want to upcycle it. Use like a tablecloth, curtains, you get the idea. Not fabric scraps that you've got, but upcycling something, maybe something from a charity shop, that kind of thing. You can turn it into a garment or a bag. There is a hashtag to use on Instagram, for work in progress over the month. But the reveal date on Instagram with the final hashtag, I'll put that all on the screen, is the 31st of October. So I have been looking at things for myself, but also my daughter sorted out loads of stuff a little while ago, put some stuff on Vinted, and then had a few things that she asked me to look at, and this is the last one. Now, I don't mind making for my daughter, I've got to be honest. I don't really make for other people, but I made the fatal mistake, I think, of saying to her, oh, I could turn that into a bag a little while ago, and yeah, she's got a very clear idea of what she would like this garment turned into. So there are some other things for me that I'll come to later, but let's start with the make. This is myself and my daughter. So she very much likes a slouchy bag, crossbody sort of bag. So I know I've made lots of bestie bags. Please don't turn off at this point, because I actually tried to send her a few patterns and show her a few patterns that I like. One of which I'll put in. It's called it's the by Country Cow Design, and it's the something purse. I'll put it in that cute purse, and I thought she would go for that, but as she went, oh, can I have another bestie bag? So this is the shirt. She had it for some time, and she's got a lovely figure, but this is like really small on her now. It's from a few years ago. Obviously a brown cord, so very on trend for the colour season. Her palette is very different to my palette. So where I'm quite bright, bold out there, she likes quite muted colours. If she does wear a pattern, it's still quite muted. So she's gone to Edinburgh today. This bag would have been perfect for her to take there. So it's a cord shirt, very typical, cuffs, pockets, yoke at the back with the little hanging loop, very typical shirt. And as I said, this is the last one. Now, it will be lined with some scraps. I think that's acceptable for the challenge. No, actually, I've got I think it's like a slip or a nightie that she gave me that she asked me to line it with. It's a while since we had the conversation, so it will be fully upcycled. I'm going to show you today, and then over the next few days, I'm going to get on with my upcycling so that I can come back and show you the finished makes, but obviously I can't put them onto Instagram to enter till the 31st of October. I hope that makes sense. Now, if I was making this, I would probably utilise some of this detail from the front and maybe have that as part of the bag outer. I'm going to have a conversation with her probably tomorrow. I suspect she won't want that. I think she'll want it completely plain and completely neutral. What I envisage is I'm going to sit today and unpick the pockets. So we've got the biggest run of fabric here possible. There's obviously quite a large portion of fabric at the back. I need to be conscious of the nape, so it's all going the same way. It's up over. I wear it the other way, but it's that way. So I get the direction as good as I can. The bestie bag, which is this pattern here, does have a piece that runs underneath. You can just see that in the beige one there. I need to get that to look the same, sort of follow the same direction. What I'm thinking right now, I'm going to go for the medium size one rather than a baby. I think I'll get the medium out of this. I'm hoping out of this pattern piece here I can get both of the outer panels. and then I'm hoping that probably from the front, when I've taken this off, I might be able to get the whole of that piece that joins it out of this part here. If not, I'll have two together and I'll join them together so the direction's the same. Similar with the strap, although we've had a conversation already and she's happy for me to utilise from the sleeve to make the strap. And as I say, I've got some line, and you'll see that later when I get to the make, from like a, whatever it is, I mean, it could even be a dress. I don't know, but something that she gave me. But yeah, if you're thinking of doing anything like this, I would try and utilise some of the detail, but actually I think by removing it, it would help. The zip that's gone with it is from In My Stash. That's perfectly acceptable within the rules. Let me just move that pattern out of the way. I'm on a different angle today because the beautiful winter sun keeps shining through and I've had blobs all over my face. So I recently used this continuous zip tape with the copper, and I didn't have a brown, but we've held that up together and we're both very happy that they work together. You'll see very little of the black when it's in place, and we're going for rose gold hardware to go with it. So that is the final make really for her. As I say, she did a sort out, put a lot of stuff on Vinted, and yeah, these were the things that she was like, can you work with this? It would be nice if you could. And as I said, the brown, a bestie will be the best bag for her. So I can't push what I would like to do on her, but that's one of the bags that I'm going to move on to because I've been talking about that for a little while. One of the other things that I want to do, I think it'll still fit in the challenge, although it's an adjustment, so I might not enter it into the actual final prize, is I did a recent comparison between the Maeve skirt, which is tiered, I'll put a picture in of that, and of the Luella skirt from Tilly and the Buttons. So it's True Bias, Maeve, Tilly and the Buttons, Luella, and I prefer the Luella, and I won't go into a discussion about that because I've done a recent vlog that's all about that, and I'll put a link, a card into that as well. But I've got 3 Maeve skirts that I'm not wearing because I'm just not really happy with the fit. So because I've done that switch over of wardrobes, which is perfect timing for Sew Upcycle, I thought that it would be good to address these. So I'm just going to grab them. Now they are very different fabrics. The one, I think I'm going to unpick this today. The one that I definitely think I'll do because I'll wear in the winter, I think I just have too much volume in it. I think I went a bit volume crazy with it and it's super long. So I think what I'm going to do with this is take the waistband off. I'm going to do the same process with them all. I'm just going to sit, unpick the waistband. I'll keep the waistband as it is because it's all top stitched, and see if I can, you know, rejoin this together and use this. So the waist fits absolutely fine. I want to get rid of some of the volume. So these are all the Maeve, and what I'm going to do is, once I've got it unpicked and the fabric flat, I'm going to put the Luella pattern pieces onto it and cut those out. Now this is, it's really long for me as well. So I figured there's probably enough in here that I can keep it as a 2-tier skirt, but just sort of draft it so I feel like it fits me better. And I can see me wearing this with sweatshirts and my DMs in the winter, but equally because it's like a chambray weight, I can see me wearing it again in the summer. And if I do need to alter it again for a size adjustment as I'm getting smaller, that's absolutely fine as well. This one is exactly the same, but it's a is it a Marie Cotton Lawn from Lady McElroy? I want to do the same alteration to this, but I can't see me wearing this over the winter. So I'm thinking do the adjustments on that one, and then come spring, I'll do exactly the same process with this one. So I'm just going to pop that to one side for now. And the third one, let me take it off the hanger. This is one that I made in early summer, I think. It's a neutral linen. It's a stretch linen actually from First for Fabrics, and it was the first of the one piece of the Maeve skirt that I made. So I'll be keeping this, I think, as one piece. but it needs to come in here. I don't even know where my side seams are. Let me find one. So it just needs to come in here and into the waist. So what I'll probably do with this same process, take the waistband off and then put the Luella pattern piece on, and I'll probably grade down. So rather than, you know, I just need to sort of grade it into the width of this. The Luella doesn't come as one pattern piece, but I just extended the top pattern piece down and kind of sort of followed that line of the Maeve to make a one piece skirt, and I really like it. I did that in a royal blue. I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture to drop in. So I think, although this is like more of a spring summer linen, it's quite neutral, and I think with a nice chunky jumper in the winter I probably would still wear this. It's easy alteration, so I'm happy to go ahead and give that a go. So I think today might be unpicking day. Sit on the sofa with some unpicking and yeah, something nice on TV, and then I'm going to come back to you and show you where I've got to and what I've achieved. So I'll see you on the other side of that. Hi everybody, welcome back. In your world it's been a minute, in my world it's been a few days, but I am back and I have done the alterations to the skirts and made the bag. So I'm going to show you those now. The bag, oh my god, this might be the best bestie bag, the best one that I've made. My daughter's seen it, she absolutely loves it. Let me show you it, and I'm going to talk through a couple of other bits with it as well. So this was out of the brown cord shirt. I'm sure you'll remember, you only saw it a few minutes ago, and here we go. Now I've made this a little bit differently to how I've made my previous ones. So this is the medium size bag. My daughter said, oh, it looks quite big. It does, because I've firmed it up. It'll still bend when it's on, but what happened was I struggled to interface the cord with my bag interfacing. Not a really heavyweight one. I just couldn't get it to stick. And I tried all the things that I know, tips from other people, where you can use like a lightweight interface, and like, you know, the papery types or the woven types. Try to put that on first to get it to stick to that, but even that wouldn't stick. It was just impossible. So basically I sewed the interface in to the outer panels, and like all three outer panels, and to these triangular bits that you sew on, these bits on the end. I didn't interface these because I used part of the button placket to do this, so it was already doubled over. So it's like 4 layers there, and that's really sturdy, so I didn't feel that I needed to do that. I did it all really easily. I got the 2 back pieces out of the back of the shirt, as I said I thought I would, no problem at all. And then the 2 front panels, I unpicked the button, the pockets, and then all of this part here, the panel underneath. I hate it when things pick up dust when you're showing them, or probably remnants of food. It does look a different colour, but that's because this is where the pockets were. My daughter said she's fine with that. In person that shows up less, and I did join it, and I did that just exactly as I did the other one. I sewed it together, top stitched either side, and then did like a bit of a decorative stitch that you can't even see straight up the middle, so it just makes it a little bit stronger. I keep finding threads, but I think that's off the unpicking that I did for the pockets. I did, one second. So I did have some thoughts on the bag, and I discussed them with her, because obviously it's a project she asked me to do for her. It's for my daughter. And the pockets were square pockets with a pocket flap. So I did say to her that if she wanted me to, I could have, and this might just, you know, give you ideas if you wanted to do the same. I could have put that, you know, made an external pocket, or made that a little pocket at the back, and it could have slid in there either way, or you could have put it on the wonk, whatever you wanted. But she wanted it plain. I think I've said before, she likes things quite plain, and that's absolutely fine. She was my client on this occasion. And the only other thing I suggested, because I do have the 2 sleeves left, but by the time, they must have been like a drop shoulder, they were quite short. To make the strap, I would need to piece them together. I've hung on to them, but she said she's just going to buy a strap, and I have used the rose gold metalwork on it. if she can't get the strap that she wants with the rose gold or the webbing, I said obviously I can take it off and put rose gold onto it. And the only other suggestion that I had was with the straps, these are the two pieces of the front placket, the button placket. Obviously it's got the jeans buttons still on it, and I've used some of the one with the buttonholes in to make the little end connectors, but I did say to her, how about using this for the strap, because then I love this idea. I suppose it's a nod to the fact that it's upcycled from a denim garment, but then you could literally undo those and adjust your strap that way, or just have it at the preferred length. And then I'm talking about it and doing it, but I'm not really showing you it, am I? That's not too good. I am trying to look at this little camera over here. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm a bit rubbish at it, really. So if I ever look like I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at my screen, but the camera's not on my screen. Yeah, so there's like, obviously the button placements and everything are already there. So you could just adjust that and make a longer crossbody strap, and I would have done the metalwork in silver to go with that, but she said no, I prefer a plain. She might get like a funky strap. This way she could change the straps anyway. Inside, I mentioned that I was using sort of a, well, I was calling it a slip, I think it was a slip dress that she used to wear a long time ago. I'll put a picture in just to show that it was a slip dress, and it's fully lined with that fabric, and it's just got the little pocket there. That was a bit on the bias. It was a bit twisted, but I got it to go in absolutely fine. And I actually interfaced the lining as well, because obviously I could get it to stick to that, so that would give it a bit more of a firmer shape. And I love it with both lots of interfacing, and I've got to say, I think that's something I would definitely do again. So there is the finished bag. She loves it, so I can give her it now that I've shown it to you. So let me move these. Then the two other things that I adjusted, changed really, because in all fairness, it was like going back and making a new skirt. So although I converted a skirt into a skirt, it actually, I'm not going to enter these, but it actually was like going back to basics. The beige one, not so much so. What I did with this was I graded it down to about here. I'm just realised there's still a little clip in there. Let me take that out. There we go. That was the point that I graded it down to. And when I laid the pattern piece on, I thought, oh, I don't know, I've took the waistband off. I'm not really taking much off that. But then I thought, yeah, because you've already got the seam allowance taken off, because I'd stitched it and overlocked it. So altogether, I guess there's maybe an inch and a half in total that I've took in from the waist, but it's that shaping of the side that makes the difference. So yeah, nothing exciting to show you. It won't even probably look any different to you. If I can get some pictures later, because the weather's been awful outside, but if I can get any pictures, I'll slip these on with the top and drop those pictures in. And then the waistband, I just managed to get it. I didn't even have to alter the waistband, it just went straight back on. But I feel like it's a much more flattering fit now, which is what I wanted. And then the other one, which was like a complete remake in all honesty, because the panel lengths and things I had to change about, and then it was a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be. And so although it's the Luella skirt, it's the Luella skirt with a little bit of a twist on the bottom. So exactly the same thing, took the waistband off, harvested that and reused it. So just with the stretchy stitches on there. I think the biggest change to this is this top panel. I think when I'd made the Maeve skirt in this, I'd made the Maeve skirt panel even wider than it was, and there was just a ridiculous amount of fabric, and that was where the issue was, because then obviously each tier grows from there. So I'll fold it up and show you that way. So we've got your normal Luella tier 1, then tier 2, and then just to lengthen it, I just did a gather on a 1.8, I think, differential feed on my overlocker, and I didn't redo the rolled hem. I managed to join it on the seams. that was already there. So this was like using the leftover bits of the other one, but it's actually just in 2 pieces, the hem, so it's exactly as it should have been. And I think that's quite nice. I think that'll be really pretty in the summer. It's a very lightweight chambray, so I'm not sure that I'll wear it in the winter, but I definitely think with my little aspen tops and ashton tops and things in the summer, that will be really nice, and I'll get more wear out of it now that I've altered it, which is the whole point of the challenge, isn't it? To take something that you're not wearing anymore, you're not loving anymore, and to make it into a garment or a bag, don't forget. So those are the 2 items. So I hope that you've enjoyed my upcycle vlog for this year. I feel like it's been really useful, like I've done things that I really wanted to do and that my daughter wanted me to do. Let me know if you're thinking about joining the challenge in the chat. And if you're not a subscriber, give me a little thumbs up for a like, or subscribe. We've had lots of new subscribers recently, and I love that you're part of this community. And come join my Sew Virtuals if you want to do some online sewing with a little community of friends. And I'll catch up with you for my normal Friday sews.